Magandang umaga, Malacañang Press Corps, and welcome to our press briefing today, our pre-departure briefing ngayong araw, October the 16th. This week, President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. will participate in the first ASEAN Gulf Cooperation Council, or GCC Summit in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Apart from the summit, the President will meet with the Filipino community and Saudi Arabian business leaders. We have here today Department of Foreign Affairs Assistant Secretary for the Office of ASEAN Affairs, Daniel Espiritu, to discuss details about the upcoming ASEAN GCC Summit and other activities in Riyadh. Good morning, ASEC Espiritu.
Yeah. Good morning, Daphne.
Go ahead.
And good morning also to our Malacañang Press Corps. Hi. It's a pleasure to be with you again.
Okay, can start your
Do
briefing.
we start? Okay. Okay, as Daphne said, the President will be participating at the first ASEAN GCC Summit, which will be held in Riyadh at the Ritz-Carlton Hotel on October 20, 2023. It will be a short affair. It's just a one-day meeting, but it will be preceded by a Filipino community meeting, hopefully in the morning of the same day, October 20. So the President will fly in on October 19, and then he will be leaving the venue right after the dinner on October 20, right after the summit. So it will be very fast, no? Parang more than 24 hours lang na stay there. And the meeting will be very focused, and the activities will be very focused, because aside from the meeting proper itself and the PhilCom meeting, they're also planning to hold a business roundtable with Arab businesses together with the Ministry of Investments of Saudi Arabia. But I cannot give you so much details on this yet, because these meetings are still being finalized. Now, there are also planned bilateral meetings with Saudi Arabia as well as with Bahrain. But again, beyond generalities, I cannot give you details yet because they are still being finalized. Suffice it to say that the probable bilateral meeting with Saudi Arabia could focus on the 54 years of diplomatic relations between the Philippines and Saudi Arabia. And that one with Bahrain could also focus on the 45th anniversary of the diplomatic relations between the two countries. Of course, part of the discussion could be the presentation of the Mahardika Fund to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia and its businesses. Again, the protection of our nationals abroad, especially in terms of labor reforms being proposed for the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, and the Arab assistance to the development of our BARM, the autonomous region, Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Mindanao. Now, to focus on the summit proper itself, it will be just a one-day affair on the 20th, and it will primarily be about the endorsement of the framework of cooperation between ASEAN and GCC. You know, the relations between ASEAN and GCC dates back to 1990, but this is the first summit, and we intended this time to intensify cooperation between these two regional organizations, because the cooperation has not yet been optimized yet. Now, it's very important because the GCC is composed of highly developed Arab economies, and at the same time, they are petrochemical powerhouses, and as well as hub and logistics economies. Now, they can help ASEAN in addressing energy and food security. Energy security because they're petrochemical powerhouses, but also food security because some of the countries there, especially Qatar, are among the largest producers of fertilizers, and they can fill up the slack or the deficit on the ASEAN side. At the same time, since among the main features of the geopolitical disruption in the past 2 years have been the disruptions in the supply chain, since most of these hub economies are advance in terms of operations of supply chains and ports and shipping and connectivity. They could very well help ASEAN in the problems with supply chain disruption the past several years. Now, during the meeting, they will also discuss regional and international issues. So among those would definitely be the current developments in the Middle East. But we have to remember that these countries are not exactly directly involved in the conflict. So probably the discussion will dwell on generalities on this. Focus will be given more on the endorsement or the noting of the framework of cooperation between ASEAN and GCC for the years 2024 to 2028, as well as on the joint statement of the summit. I guess I'll stop there for now. It will be very fast anyway. So, yes, please.
Go ahead, Maricel Halili, TV5.
Hi sir, magandang umaga po. Sir, bakit po ganun lang kaikli yung pagbisita ni Presidente sa Saudi? Kasi para lumalabas na overnight lang, no? Kasi we
Yes.
thought at least mag-start siya ng November 18. So hindi po ganun yung nangyari. Ano
Well,
pong-
ang difference kasi nito sa iba nating summits is that most of our other summits are composed of several meetings. And in fact, most of them usually start with a senior officials meeting and a ministerial meeting. And usually naman, isang araw lang or maximum of 2 araw yung the ones involving the president. No? But this time, yung SOM meeting, nauna na sa amin among ASEAN, and then hindi na tinuloy yung ministerial meeting. Nagkaroon naman ng pagpupulong on that sa side ng UN noong September. So mas minabuti na tutukan na lang yung pagpupulong ng mga leaders. No? And as I said, medyo nasa nascent stage pa tong cooperation between ASEAN and GCC. No? So actually the importance of this meeting is that it will set the tone for the forward movement of this cooperation between GCC and ASEAN. So hindi kasi ito hindi ito as active as the other cooperation partners. So ngayon, we're going to make it more active by focusing on political security, economic, and socio-cultural collaboration. Now, I can only dwell on the generalities. Although napasa na yung framework of cooperation for 2024 and 2028, in the interest of time, let me just say that under political and security cooperation, it will include the intensification of meetings between GCC and ASEAN, especially between its secretariats. Then there will also be activities of cooperation or areas of cooperation on counterterrorism and transnational crime. Cooperation between the GCC pole and the ASEAN pole, that is the parang Interpol ng ASEAN and the GCC. So these are the areas na pagtutulungan, including anti-piracy. Because if you look at it, these two regional areas are actually astride the two most important sea lanes of trade and communication in the world. You know, the Arabian Sea, which includes the Suez Canal and the Red Sea, as well as the Persian Gulf, and then the South China Sea, both of which are actually the avenues for more than half of global trade, no, and shipping. Now, so both are very important for the stability and for the stability of international commerce. And from that derives the continued prosperity, not only of their regions, of the GCC region and the ASEAN region, but also of the rest of the world. Kasi most of the trade of the rest of the world passes through these two international sea lanes or sea gates. Yun. So that's very important for us that we have this cooperation on security. And at the same time, as I said kanina, since these are petrochemical powerhouses, GCC can assist ASEAN in addressing our energy security needs. And of course, food security needs, kasi sabi ko kanina, among the countries here, especially Qatar, produce fertilizers. And then these are hub economies. And actually, these countries are awash in terms of investment funds that we can use in the region.
Asik Espiritu, thank you for explaining the significance of the relationship between the Gulf economies and ASEAN. I'm just wondering, why is this the first summit between the two, considering they've had a relationship since 1990?
Yeah, that's true. It seems that since our relationship started in the 1990s, we were so engrossed with community building activities. If you will look at it, even ASEAN only achieved what we can call a community status in 2015. No? And even then, the economic integration in ASEAN is not yet perfect. We're still far, far from the usual model, the European Union model. So the same is true with GCC actually, which only started in 1981. So it's quite understandable that during our developmental or formative stages, that we focused more on our own internal consolidation activities. And because we very well know that up to now, both organizations are still trying to improve coordination among its bodies and cooperation in different areas of mutual interest. So I think that explains that. But lately, because of recent geopolitical developments, it has become imperative that the two regional organizations partner with each other to address common concerns.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Maurice Umali, Team
Maurice,
GMA
yeah.
7.
Morning, Maurice.
You mentioned that this. Okay. Good morning, sir. You mentioned that this will also help assist in our energy and food security needs. Does this mean that after this summit, we'll be expecting more rollbacks rather than price hikes in terms of petroleum products? Because one of the causes of threats to transport strikes, including the one that we're having today, is because of the continuous price increases in petroleum products.
Okay, actually we're going far, far ahead now. Because so far we're only, at this point, we're still talking of possible cooperation on supply activities. But anyway, indirectly, yes. Because among the, of course, the basic root of the high energy prices are, of course, shortages and instability in the region. If the two regional organizations can cooperate on that and assure each other continued and reliable supply in spite of what we call the vicissitudes of energy economics and geopolitical instabilities, then we can more or less assure each other of, or we could rather assure ASEAN of continued and consistent volume of supply throughout the year. Now, with that, we can mitigate the higher prices of oil in ASEAN. Yeah.
Okay. Leth Narciso, DCRH.
Good morning, sir.
Hi, good morning.
You mentioned about labor reforms as part of discussion sa bilateral meeting with Saudi. Will the President follow up on settlement of the unpaid salaries of more than 10,000?
Actually, that is in the agenda. Yeah. Thank you.
Sir, ano na po bang nangyari talaga doon?
I can't give you the details yet, yeah, because these things are still under discussion. But it will be part of the bilateral discussion, bilateral meeting between Saudi Arabia and the Philippines. Yeah. Probably as for the more finer details of these issues, you can address your questions to Umuano. Every once in a while, may regular briefing at the DFA. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Okay, it will be a very lean group. Most of them working level. Of course, the President and the officials of the Department of Foreign Affairs and the Department of Trade. But of course, it will also include the support group of the President. But it's much, much smaller than the previous ones because napakaiksi nga naman ng biyahe. And, most probably, yeah. Anyway, nandyan naman sila palagi when it comes to workers' issues. Okay. Yes, as I said kanina, there might be a business roundtable, but these are still being finalized now.
Okay, thank you very much. One last question.
May
Okay.
effort po ba para dun sa kaso naman ni Marjoret Garcia?
I don't have a detail on that, but that could be. Kasi, as I said, kasama yung assistance to nationals and protection of our migrant workers agenda.
All right. Thank you very much,
Okay, thank you, guys,
Malacañang Press Corps, and thank you so much, Assistant Secretary Danielle
Yeah, my
Espiritu.
pleasure, Daphne. Yeah.
Thank you. Good morning. Thank you.
Okay. Anyway, sino pupunta? May pupunta ba sa inyo? Pwede ako mag-backgrounding doon.